person or online? Seeing none, how about board comments? Are there any board comments this evening? I would like to take a minute on behalf of the entire board here to welcome all of you here tonight. It's people like you that make VillageFest work and has been working for over 30 years. So thank you for bringing your talents and skills to VillageFest. Before you tonight, you see 5 people who will listen to what you have to say to us. We'll be listening particularly for a metric that you make at least 75% of what it is you're going to be selling on the street. We do that because we want to differentiate ourselves as an artisan fair as opposed to an arts and crafts fair. So when you come up and talk to us, you'll have up to 5 minutes. You don't have to take the entire 5 minutes, but we'll listen to you for 5 minutes. And after that, we will probably have some questions and then we will vote. There's another board member online, Joy Meredith. Joy represents the downtown merchants who are very much a part of the VillageFest experience, but she does not vote. So just know that she's on the board and she very well may have some questions. So with that, we'll move on, but I would like to ask, is Gabriel Rocha here? It's not here. All right. We need to set up. Is just, yeah, I'll get to that. I was gonna look and set up. Is Jason here, Kashul? Oh, okay. All right. Consent, Jasmine, any correspondence?
We have none.
No, okay.
I thought we did.
We're not Carlos for the art. Oh, we could, yeah.
Didn't we have?
Is there a
correspondence?
letter from? Yeah, we do.
Elk Patrol?
Oh, that's under, I have it under staff report.
Oh,
Okay, good. Carlos, are you here tonight? Do you need to set up? Do you need to get ready to display stuff? Because if you can set up on the table here, and that way when we call you, you'll be ready. Just a few things. All right, fine, very good. All right, consent calendar. Chair would entertain a motion for a posting of the agenda and the approval of minutes.
I'll move to approve.
I'll second. We need to vote. You can vote, Antonio, on the minutes or on the agenda, but not on the minutes. You were not here for that.
We should really separate
Okay.
them.
Yeah.
2 votes. Sorry, let's do that again.
Do you want to set up separate?
Sure,
Yeah,
so I'll approve the agenda.
thank you.
I'll second the agenda.
And we'll vote Mitchell,
Yes.
Dan,
Yes.
yes, Celia,
yes.
Antonio.
Yes.
Okay. Now a motion, please, for the approval of the minutes for the last meeting.
I move we approve the minutes from the last meeting.
I'll second.
Thank you. We will vote Antonio, cannot vote, Celia,
Yes.
Greg, yes, Dan,
Yes.
and Mitchell.
Yes.
Thank you, very good. All right, now we're ready to begin talking to you, the vendors coming before VillageFest tonight. Gabriel Rocha is not here. He was first on the list. Carlos, that means you're up.
Yeah. Yeah. Everything I did.
You would push the button on your microphone and when you're finished talking, we'll start timing.
Yes. Well, I don't know what to say, but I'm gonna start with this is my acrylic stuff. This is all acrylic, and this is epoxy that I use, rhinestone, LED lights that I use for my art. You have pictures of everything that I make. So this is a metal channel where I place the LED lights around my pieces. And
Why don't you walk us through how you make that piece and let us understand anyone you want, just walk
Right.
us through the process.
yeah. First, I bought a 4x8 acrylic 3/8, which is a thick acrylic. So and then I buy image And then I stick it on here, I cut it. All like this, let's say I cut this. And then after that, of course, I do a lot of sanding and a lot of prep work. And then after that, after the images on the acrylic, I put the resin, and then and let it dry, and start putting the hardware to hang on the wall. So that's pretty simple. It took me 2 years to figure this out. But then after that, it's simple now for me anyway, I guess.
So how does the lighting come in?
Oh, because the good part of the acrylic is the acrylic. You see through the acrylic.
So there's light transparency.
So are there
Correct.
lights on
Correct.
that right now?
No, this is not LED, but you have a pictures of because this is just a small piece. I put the LED lights on bigger pieces, not the small pieces.
Like behind it?
Behind it, and then I put another. There are 2 layers. One goes in the back. I don't know if you have pictures.
We have pictures, but it's a little difficult to understand
Yeah, I don't know.
because it's not.
Let's say I make another one like this.
Uh-huh.
The 2 the same but bigger. This is bigger. Another fish. Okay, 2 fishes.
Right.
And then here, I had to cut the channel the same way. I guess now it's 3 fishes with this. I see a picture there that I can show you if you let me, and then I can explain better.
While you're doing that, now you mentioned that you said that you cut the acrylic and you buy the image. Can you expand on that a little bit?
Well, I go to the print shop and buy like a Marilyn Monroe image, and then
You mean online that you buy it?
no, here locally.
Okay, so that piece that's on top of there, you did not make the fish, it's something you bought and you cut it out and you attached it.
Right.
Okay, so.
The image is square. All the images are square,
Mhm.
and then I had to cut it. Everything I had to
So you
cut.
buy posters, basically?
Posters, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But let me show you something here. See, this is the eagle.
Mhm.
This metal channel is this, and this is another piece of acrylic. But then it goes another eagle on top, which is the image, but the image is on the acrylic too. So I have 2 layers of acrylic. You follow me?
And the lights are in between them, it's sandwiched.
Correct.
between.
Correct.
And how do you do all that metal? That's very intricate bench work on there.
Metal clippers.
Like
Oh,
this.
with the how do you call this?
Snippers.
Snippers or yeah. So and then I cut it here and bend it, and then cut it and bend it,
Oh, okay, got.
and then and
Over the work.
well, that's the see right here. I'm cutting a Batman.
Uh-huh.
Do you have any pictures of them finished and lit up?
I'm finished.
Finished and
Lighted,
lit up.
and
Like,
lighted.
in other words, how the piece will look at VillageFest.
I have a video if you wanna.
I thought there were lips that were lit up.
Oh, yes. See, this is and this is this tall.
Okay,
See, 2 layers,
yeah,
and the LED lights, they go in between. And this is,
so the LED is an outline.
pardon me,
It's an outline, the LED, or it's all inside?
all inside. Again, I cut it the way is the shape, the image goes. That's how I cut it all the way around.
So the light comes out from around the edges.
Yes,
But it's
like that.
inside.
Well,
Inside.
there's two pieces mounted.
Right, so what happens if the light goes out? How do you fix it? If it's got acrylic over the top of it,
I haven't.
it
It's
hasn't
haven't,
happened?
no, not yet anyway,
Okay,
but I can replace it. It's so easy. Again, it took me a lot of time to figure
right,
this.
Okay,
right.
So here is see, this is the middle channel right here.
yeah,
And see, these are the LED lights. They go around.
so it's an outline, okay.
So
And I imagine
that's,
they shine in to illuminate the whole
Right.
thing.
And this is something else, but
oh,
it's,
this is just a ring sculpture. That I made. This was one of my first pieces. This is all rhinestone. And I have one more. I have made two.
and does that light up as well?
No,
Okay.
not this one, just the big ones.
Okay.
Yeah, not the small ones. It's kind of difficult to feel like this.
Yeah,
This is what I do.
what is it? That's the edge of it, or that's the center as well?
This is the edge only.
That used for the edge, okay.
Yeah. And
So do they have plugs on them that light up? How does it, do you have a cord that you have to plug in or?
yes,
Okay, so that would be on a wall, but there'd be a plug that,
it goes in the back.
okay, but, okay,
It goes, see, I made a hole. See, I can. Right there where I made a hole there and stick the wire through that hole.
okay.
So now people have to make outlet for that
Oh, I see.
on the wall,
Okay.
Or
so,
have it come down.
so yeah. Yeah, so you don't see
Right,
the core or the outlet, so.
Okay,
But in my case, it's all clean, you don't see any of that.
yeah. So can I see in the file that the prices are pretty high. Have
Yeah.
you sold many and what?
No, they're not, I'm getting ready to sell, I mean, no, I haven't sold
You
it.
haven't sold any, so you
No.
don't know that your price point is something that's gonna.
Oh, I worked before in art galleries,
Oh, okay.
so I know,
Oh, okay,
so, but then also the acrylic sheets, they're expensive.
right,
All this is expensive,
right.
so it's good money, it's not something that I. You know,
No, I'm not questioning the value. I'm just saying it for Village Fest, it's kind of a, a $12,000 piece is something that. I don't know if we've ever sold anything that high before, but
well, there's always a first time.
there's always.
There's a first
time.
time.
That-
Absolutely.
You taught him that. I can tell by your.
Yeah, he told.
Any other questions for Carlos?
Is there a picture of the booth and what the stuff looks like displayed? Because I did not see that at all.
Well, he doesn't have it,
Doesn't
this is his first
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, okay, but he's.
Oh, I have a picture of the. And it's here.
Show us what they'll set it up.
They do, okay.
Yeah.
It's here.
Just come bring your stuff and sit on the street.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I
And it's
missed that.
kind of dark in there, so
Yeah.
you can see, I guess you could see.
Oh, so it's like a tent and you go inside.
Yes,
Okay.
and it's a 10 by 10, actually.
Okay.
That's- And I did all the boards. So, and I put some material, black material,
Mhm.
so it's, so the my pieces can show better.
Yeah,
And what on the outside of the booth is going to attract people to come in? Because remember that it's very crowded. It's a lot of people on the street, people pushing baby carriages, people walking their dogs. Most of the stuff is displayed and is sort of eye-catching so they can get to it. And that's why we always ask to see the booth. What will be on the outside of that to
This
draw
is
them in?
just another image, it's
Mhm.
pop art,
Okay,
and it's on
and is that
top,
lit up?
no. No, but
Okay.
I have
And is there any lighting at all on the outside of it?
can I show you a video?
Yeah.
can you see this fish?
Mhm.
And it's rotating this, this is so this is the new, how do you call it?
Turn it so we can,
That's kind of
Yeah,
beautiful
yeah,
inside.
that's kind of interesting.
Wow.
So it's gonna emanate light through the doorway, which would be the draw, I
Yes.
guess. I'm
Yes.
just wondering what's gonna draw people to go
Can you
into
pass that
a
over?
black
Can you
tent.
Of course,
Yeah, it's a black tent with a
I
big
know.
light, big lid
I
open.
guess, I mean, I don't know that I would walk in, honestly, personally, but yeah. I really don't know what that is.
Oh, wow.
to
Wow,
play it.
yeah.
Okay, now I get it.
Very
Yes.
different.
Now I have a question about the Ferrari logo.
Mhm.
Are you licensed to use that logo and sell art?
No, no, not. But that's the same thing with with everything else. I mean,
Well, no, because that's a corporate logo. And
That's a
that's the reason
trademark.
why I asked it. So it'd be trademarked, just like you couldn't do Mickey Mouse, because that's trademarked, right?
mhm,
There are certain things like that that are trademarked.
I
that
can
you-
eliminate that. I mean, that's not. I have more pieces, different pieces.
But you understand about the trademark, 'cause I
Correct.
don't know if that's the only one that would be a
That's
trademark.
the only one.
Okay.
Any other questions, for Carlos?
No.
Ready for a motion?
I'll move that we approve this, I'm sorry, the lighted room fine art.
A second.
Very good. Let us vote. And Carlos, we're voting now with you removing the Ferrari piece from. the
Right,
display.
yeah, just to be clear.
Okay. So Mitchell, vote.
Yes,
Dan,
Yes, and I want to clarify what he just said, not only the Ferrari piece, anything that is branded.
Branded,
That's
yeah.
corporate branded,
thank you.
I would be careful with that, so go ahead.
Right, very good.
Yes, I vote yes, Celia,
Yes,
and then Tony.
Yes.
Very good. Congratulations,
All right.
Carlos.
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck out there.
Thank you.
It's
Yeah,
gonna be a pretty.
It's
big-
unique.
they're
Very-
unique. They're
it's-
different.
It's very unique.
I mean, I go to different art shows, nothing
I
compared to
think
this.
people are gonna be attracted and want to go inside
Yeah.
for sure.
Gabriel, did you come in by chance? Good. Would you like to come up and set up?
You want to do that?
It's not coming.
That's the next step.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That was a very pretty. From the inside.
Yeah.
I gotta go in there and look.
well, we're gonna give you some middle.
You can wait a minute if you want to. He's done.
Sorry.
You were not here when we said, but we'll give you 5 minutes to talk,
Okay,
up to 5 minutes, and then after that, we'll stop you and ask you questions.
okay, no problem. Could he be, giving you some stuff while also?
Very good.
Okay.
When you're ready to begin,
I'm ready to
we're
begin. Which of course, I would have brought a churro truck.
you stand over by the microphone.
This is Dylan, by the way. He's my roommate and also helping him out with the project. Well, anyway, we're mucho churro, mucho café. And, well, we come from Mexico and, 1954, my uncle started doing churros in Guadalajara. They do come from Spain. And the churros, actually, the shepherds in Spain, they wanted bakery. So what they wanted to do, they couldn't take bread. What they did is they put a campfire, they put oil, and they started making churros. Churros actually is a sheep. And it's a sheep that has the horns. So that's why they call it churro.
Ah,
So in 1934, they saw that churros were not in Mexico. So someone from Spain came to the Zócalo and started doing churros. So the Mexican people could actually have churros. And what's going on is when Hernán Cortés came, when he saw there was vanilla, cacao, he took that back to Europe. And then they started doing chocolate and they started dipping the churro into the chocolate with the vanilla essence, because our vanilla is also from Mexico as well as the cacao. So working in the music industry when COVID hit, my mind went crazy and I went to Mexico. And then my cousin, they still sell churros. It's a tradition from my great uncle from the northern part of Jalisco. They're like, why don't you just continue the tradition? It is a tradition. And you know, this craft is being erased because nobody wants to do churros. You know, they have other stuff. And you know, you continue and teach your nephews, teach your people to continue churros. So I was gonna do it in Pasadena. So in 2000, after I wanted to do, in 2015, I wanted to open it up in Pasadena, COVID hit, and my mind was going, okay, this is the time or not the time. And then moving to Palm Springs in 2019, when I went to the street fair, I didn't see no one selling churros. Now I see someone. But that's when I realized, you know what? You have to believe in your heart. And if you do churros, you do coffee, versus our coffee salted from Nayarit, it's a pea berry, which is it's also Arabica, which is has to be at a altitude over sea level. But our coffee is a pea berry, which means it's one solid coffee bean. Normally there's two, it's like twins. And this one coffee is inside the cherry, and it doesn't want to share with another bean, so it only has it in one. So it's a little smaller berry. And I do have samples of my coffee that comes in green, and we do roast it. So this is our café de olla. It's actually also a tradition. In 1910, when the revolution was there, the ralleras, or the ladies, used to make over a campfire our coffee with piloncillo, which is like a brown sugar of cane, and also the caffeine to keep the soldiers up. So our café de olla has a lot of tradition, and it was done in a clay pot. So this way the shoulders will be up. So until this day, in several restaurants in Mexico, now I also see it here, we do have café de olla, which is something that I also want to sell because it goes in hand with churros. And also our chocolate, which is our beauty. Of course, our chocolate is very different from the American chocolate, hot chocolate, because ours is more grainy for the reason that it's more raw. It has the cinnamon and the essence. So it is a different taste to it, but it's something that we also take a lot of pride with our hot chocolate, or chocolate, as we say. I don't know if you saw our booth. I don't know if you guys have pictures. Okay, and we do have a website. So we just want to come to Palm Springs and do churros, what we know how to do. So I don't know if you have any questions.
Is it your intention to do this year round?
Huh?
Is it your intention to do? it
You know
year-
what? My intention is year round. The purpose is coffee is the national drink besides water. So I know that's what I say. That's what I was doing right now. I'm like, oh my God, I want to drink coffee now. And the thing is, coffee here, sometimes we don't, yeah, there's coffees everywhere, but our coffee is very organic, it's shaded. And the taste that we have in our coffee, because we do have the cacao trees in Nayarit, so the bees actually give that essence into our coffee. And here are some examples of the coffee that we have. Oh, so there, you guys put that in.
Will you be selling the coffee beans as well?
I want to, but remember, we're more of the café de olla and churros. We will be doing coffee, so if there's any bags, we'll be glad to sell them as well. That's something that I would want to buy some coffee myself.
Well, if you are thinking about that, we should include it on your application.
Okay,
If anything you add, you'd have to come back to jury.
okay, and then I would certainly love to. And here's the 3 samples. I mean, you guys can see it, but the bigger one normally has a twin. The smaller one is the only one, which is, it takes from 100 cherries, only 5 of them are actually pea berry. So they hand selected. So it's just something that's also very, very exclusive, very special. If you guys want to pass, these are the samples. This is the green bean that we get from Nayarit. And it's actually washed from our water. Normally they dry it because there's no water. We do have a lot of water in Nayarit, and it overlooks the bay of San Blas. So we do have our coffee there, and people will see the coffee, jump up and down. And it's just, I mean, I love coffee. I mean, I just like to see it. It's just so memorizing, especially the smell.
Carlos, you've reached 5 minutes, so
Okay.
let us ask you
So,
some questions.
Follow up to my question, was, if you are intending to be here in the summer, do you have any intention to do cold drinks like iced coffee, iced,
You know
iced
what?
hot chocolate?
The good thing is that our café de olla with ice, or ice is also very good.
Mhm.
So it's something that
Oh my
it gets
God.
very hot here. And we also do our cajeta, which is they call it dulce de leche, but cajeta is just milk with sugar, and that is what we're gonna be filling them. And also we do, we do the traditional churro, which will be the actual horns of the actual chief, and that's done in a circle, and then we'll cut it up like a pizza. And then we have the filled churro with it. We have some samples of the filled churro, and we also have some of our cajeta, which is also.
Can we taste the churro?
Of course you can. There's ones that are filled with the raspberry, and there's some that are the traditional, and then we do have the cajeta.
What do you like?
The ones that Joey donates, that have the red.
Your application says you're going to be selling ice cream sandwiches.
Oh, this
as
is
well.
the chocolate one. Oh, ah. I left them in the freezer.
Carlos, that's right. I came for an ice cream sandwich.
The thing is, it was melting, wait, it was melting, but we do want to have the vanilla.
How long will it
Again,
take you to get in the car and run?
we'll go and get it,
No,
but normally our
I'm kidding.
actual is the same, we'll do the little churros in a circle. We'll put the ice cream and there'll be like an ice cream sandwich, and I did two of them. And they were melted, so I put them back on the freezer.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and I told them, remember, we need to take these, but that is something we want to do.
I'm sorry, I called you Carlos. I meant Gabriel.
These are delicious.
Thank you.
But I have to be honest, they're a little on the sweet side. Will you be offering
Yes,
either an unsweetened or a less sweetened or something?
that's something that we want to do, and we were talking, I'm diabetic myself. So we want to do is, I like
You
my
keep drinking this
coffee.
Stuff that I understand
I'm a
why.
coffee lover, but I don't like sugar in my coffee. So we won't have the actual coffee made with just the cinnamon and without the actual sugar. But it will still be done in the actual pot plate. And that is what brings the flavor is the pot plate. And that, you know, and that's something that people sometimes don't do it anymore, you know?
Your chocolate, this is delicious.
really good.
Really good.
Is it
How
the,
much caffeine is in this?
You know what? I'll be honest. It is good
Talking around
caffeine.
his mouth, so I'm guessing a lot.
Because it is a pea berry, remember, the pea berry, it's only one coffee bean that's inside the cherry and is very small, so it's very concentrated, it's full of flavor. Normally all coffee in the same plant, Arabica, it actually has two beans. And this one is like, it's just by nature, one becomes one and it has all the nutrients, it has all the caffeine, and it has everything. But if people do want decaf, then I would get some decaf from Veracruz. And the reason I say Veracruz is because Veracruz has very good decaf for one reason. They don't put chemicals to decaffeinate it. They use a river and they put the beans inside a net and they put it in the river so it could be washed. All the caffeine gets washed away and then they dry it. So you'll have natural caffeine, 95% of, decaffeinated without any chemicals. But that's something if the people want it, I would love to do it as well as without sugar. I would love to do it as well.
Any other board questions for Gabriel?
No, it's delicious.
And I'm gonna say, you know what? After eating the churro with the sugar on it, the coffee doesn't taste so sweet. So
Right.
that,
Yeah.
so it kind of goes together.
It goes together.
Yeah.
And normally in Spain, they do dip the churro, the traditional. There is some traditional.
Yeah.
Okay, these are the traditional ones that are not filled, they don't have the hole, and normally they dip it on the chocolate. So if you guys want to pass those, those are the traditional ones, huh?
We don't want to send you home with anything away.
And then you guys can have this, huh?
Are we ready for a motion?
Yeah. I make it, I move that we accept, what is it called? Mucho churro
Mucho café.
into the Village Fest.
I second. All right, let us vote. Mitchell.
Yes.
And
Yes.
C, yes.
Yes,
100% yes.
Yes.
well, thank you guys.
Congratulations.
You guys won't be disappointed,
Very good.
and you know what, I'm proud
Very
to be
good.
part of you,
Yep.
and you guys be part of me, huh? And we'll leave this here. And if you guys want to share, there's more churros, and there's coffee, and there's hot chocolate here.
We
huh?
have kids at home.
Thank you so much.
Do any of the
Your
audience?
kids
is
are
there
gonna
more
be
Yeah,
running around.
we'd be up to, huh?
Sugar there.
Anyway, have a good day.
Thank
and
you so
stay-
much.
Now, my question is, I know that there's 2 seasons,
Jasmine will give you all the information you need to.
but we do just like, the thing is, we have a Europe trip, we're going to go see Adele and Taylor trip in Germany. And, but we wanted to sell in July, I go, but you know what, we still, you know what, but we definitely wanted to start October.
You
But
can
our,
start whenever you want.
so could we do like the 1 month of June before we go to Europe?
yeah, that's, that you do with staff.
Well, thank you
Thank
so
you so
much. And we'll leave this here. If you guys want some, you guys are more than welcome to,
That's
huh?
the next step.
And then also
Thank
what you
you.
said about roasting coffee and selling it, should I do it right now so I don't have to resend?
Add it.
Okay, so we could add it, send it to you guys, or how do we do
We'll
it?
just add
You
it.
can
We
add it
will
right
add it
now.
to the
Okay,
application.
and we'll be selling coffee as well.
Very
And
good.
you guys,
Thank
we
you.
will love the coffee. The only problem is that you guys are gonna want more and more and more, because
Very good.
that is me, huh?
Very good.
Anyway,
Thank you
bless
so
you
much.
guys, huh?
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Jason, did you? Jason is not here.
No?
No?
Thank you,
Next up is Mike Ribkin. Mike, are you here?
Michael.
Michael? No, Mike Ribkin with Antique Galleries of Palm Springs. Nope. And now beautiful spa.
Yes,
It's your turn. Welcome.
thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm not sure that with my data right.
Good afternoon, everyone.
At the Zoom.
First, thank you all for coming for our demo. My name is Michelle, and he is my husband, Michael. We have been running a local massage store massage business named the Beautiful Spa in downtown Palm Springs for over 8 years, providing neck, back, shoulder, full body, and feet massage services. Over the past 8 years, we have built a lot of customers, not local residents, but also the other cities, even from other foreign countries. And they allow and frequent return attachment to our quality and services. We have a lot of good review on Yelp and Google, Facebook, and we already get about 50,000 customer massage over the 8 years.
Wow.
Yeah, and we are so excited to see our VillageFest becoming increasingly popular over the years. And we hope that we can help to make it more exciting and attractive. So we would like to have a booth to provide neck, shoulder, body massage services at VillageFest. Since our store really close to the VillageFest,
Where is your store?
beautiful spa.
Where the police department used to be.
Yeah, please,
Oh.
The
okay.
station.
Yeah, okay.
really close our back as the VillageFest. So we plan to attend year-round the VillageFest from Thursday night from start to end. We aim to provide high quality and football massage services at the VillageFest. So we hope more customers can come in, enjoy our massage services, relax at VillageFest, and fall in love with our city. So we hope to take this opportunity to make more customers and even attractive foreign customers can come in to our massage services. So you are also welcome to visit our beautiful spa to experience our massage services. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Are there board questions?
I actually have a number of questions. So in California, I see that you have a state board certification for an establishment license with the state of California State Board. And that establishment license allows you to operate your establishment within the 4 walls of your business.
Yeah.
I don't know that it extends out to the street. Also, there's a law that went into effect January of 23, the California Business and Professional Code, that requires a certificate from the Massage Therapy Council of California in order to even really be doing the business. So are your therapists licensed?
Yes,
By whom?
we have my name.
But what organization has licensed your therapists?
The therapist license from California.
So the California Massage Therapy Council?
Yes,
Okay, so they each have their certificates. Do those certificates allow, and I was doing a quick peruse of the professional code, and I can't find it yet, but does it allow for you to go outside your establishment and perform these services?
yes,
It does?
yes, in California.
Okay.
And what about the
So
other-
wait,
we have
let's be
another-
clear, 'cause I'm not sure that I understood what you asked. So the license that you have allows you, if you wanted to operate right here on Tockwitz, if you wanted to put a table there on the sidewalk, and then you could do that with your license? Are you sure
Yes.
about that?
Yes, because the
I am.
license,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay. Good.
Yeah, and that's why we require the person who is massaging at Village Fest, their license has to be
Displayed.
displayed, yes.
But we do have somebody else who has a booth there that
Yeah.
is not a
Okay,
brick
yeah.
and mortar.
And we
so-
require them to have that license displayed.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's not the business license,
I
it's the
understand.
personal
Yes,
massage license.
Yes, okay, good. Good,
All
that's good to know.
And then what are you doing as far as sanitation between customers?
you mean the,
So I come and I sit in your chair and I get a massage.
Yeah.
And
and
so I've been laying in your, not laying, but I might be laying down on the table, I'm not sure, or if it's a chair. What are you doing when I get up off of that chair before the next person comes onto the chair?
we have, we plan to put, two chair massage and two bed massage.
Yes,
And we also want to set up, chairs, customer waiting there.
yes,
Yeah, and when we give the massage, cover by our sheet, close on, okay?
So you change the bedding or the sheets or whatever
Yes, yes.
between
Uh,
every single customer?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
and you-
one, yeah,
And you use cleanser and you clean?
yeah, everyone,
Between every
we
single one?
change, we change everyone. So make sure it's clean.
I have a question, Jasmine. Where their business is located, are they considered a downtown merchant already?
They would be, yes. However, because they're already a business that qualifies to participate in Village Fest, they will be a general vendor, not
Well, there,
a,
there is a category for massage
Right.
therapy, yeah.
right.
Okay.
So because they qualify, really the merchant category was created for those who are impacted,
Who don't,
who
oh.
cannot participate in our general rules and
Because they're
regulations.
selling things that they don't make.
Right.
Gotcha, okay,
Right, but
makes
this
sense. Thank you.
category fits
Okay,
into what
great.
we already have.
That's my only question.
All right.
Any other board questions? Motion, please.
I move that we accept a beautiful spa into Village Fest.
I'll second,
All right, let us vote. Mitchell,
Yes,
Dan,
yes.
I vote yes. Celia
Yes.
and
Yes.
Antonio. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Sarman and Caroline, are you here? Please come up.
Right here. Hi, guys.
Good.
How's everybody?
You have the spore solution, right?
We are the solution.
Good.
Were you the second on that?
Yes.
Oh, yes, it was.
Thank you.
Excuse us, I'm a little bit
Hi.
nervous, never done this.
Among friends. We're among friends. Hi, Caroline.
We don't allow people to boo from the audience.
Yeah, okay, right on.
I'm gonna take away the.
That folder really quick.
Sure.
The only reason is, okay, first we have to apologize because our crop is not ready yet, so we didn't bring anything. Because we grow it so that it's ready the day before our markets, so that they're fresh.
Right.
So I apologize. We have pictures right here of all of our mushrooms though. And here we go. Okay, go ahead.
We have been in the mushroom industry. I started with my brother in Gorman, California. He had a farm, so, you know, just throughout the years, he taught me, and I really got serious this past year. My parents have been living in Palm Springs, California for about 7-8 years, so me and my fiance, we were done with LA and we were picking a new place, and we picked, you know, Palm Springs. And with that being said, we decided that, you know, it was time for us to build our own empire and our own little, you know, entity and our own family. So that's where we started the Sport Solution. We have lots of experience in farmers market, customer service. Everything is grown at our farm locally here in Palm Springs.
I have a little,
Everything organic.
Where is that? We're in Palm Springs.
Right here on Sunflower Circle. Sunflower Circle, and what the sunflower circle.
Is it on the property of your home? Is that what
It is in the garage, yes, yes, which is allowed, we have agriculture actually coming out tomorrow and,
Did everybody, get a chance to read the letter of intent, or
We
do you want me
did.
to read it? You did? Okay, I was gonna read it for you guys.
um,
So these are a picture of our booth. I'll pass it around.
Such
then-
colorful.
yes.
Yeah, that's what's
Yes.
gonna draw people into our booth
Yes.
is,
You do
the
like lobster,
color,
mushrooms,
then the way that our
oysters,
mushrooms
Oysters,
look. they're
yes, lion's
beautiful.
mane,
These are
shiitakes.
pink oysters.
Wow.
They look like roses.
I mean, we have gone above and beyond to master it to not just the colors, but the quantity,
These are shiitakes, all
consistency to, yes. And these are actual photos of what you guys will really see at the markets. These
They're
are,
beautiful.
yes. They're babies.
These are yellow oyster.
Yes. Yes, we love them.
These are tree oyster, elm oysters, or some people call them blue oysters.
Yes.
And then lion's mane.
So how long does it take for these to,
7 to 10 days.
okay,
Yes.
And is this growing on bread?
No, no, they're blocks.
They're blocks, they're, stuff
That we
like
have to inoculate and, we put basically the mushroom,
Oaks.
we put it in there and then its little fingers grow all over it, basically, and then we put it in our fruiting room and then the mushrooms grow.
and what is it?
We use
Fruiting
it,
room.
we use blocks, and the blocks, what the blocks are, they're made out of oak chips. We make them out of oak chips. We mix them with all these natural and, because naturally, like
They grow on
they
wood.
grow on wood, in the forest, which lots of humidity, water, so.
We have to control the
Yeah.
temperature, the humidity of the room so that everything is just right for them to grow.
Yes,
And how long does it typically take to grow
harvest.
a harvest? Yeah.
7 to 10 days.
10 days. we
That's it?
harvest.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
And how
does.
much does that produce?
Each block, I'm so
No, go ahead,
sorry.
go. You're
I'm
fine.
so sorry.
No,
Each
you go.
block gives us anywhere from a pound to 1 pound and 1/4, but we're shooting for 2, actually. We're always trying to come with new things, but we never wanna jeopardize the quality of it for the quantity.
So
We
when
wanna
you
keep
have,
the quality going, yes.
so when you have people, because I mean, most people buying mushrooms are buying them from Stater Brothers or
Correct.
Rollins, right? It's a little, container of mushrooms. So this is a whole new experience for people, so.
Foodies would
Yeah.
know about this.
Huh?
Foodies would know about it.
But they're not buying the block. 'cause
No,
we-
they're just
No,
buying.
Yes,
no,
yes,
just
yeah,
buying
yeah,
that.
yes, they're not buying.
No, I'm
it.
sorry, go ahead.
So are you making recommendations for things they can use them in, food they can make with them?
What we do is we have little cards that if they're new to mushrooms, that we have little recipe cards that if they're interested,
Yes.
we'll give it to them. We know like what each mushroom, what it goes good with, what it doesn't go good with, how to cut, how to cook, everything. So we let them know a little bit about it. So if they want, we give them a recipe card. Also, when we're selling them, if they want to try the pink and the blue, they don't have to buy a whole,
Yes, they can
we'll mix and match.
They can,
No, you're fine.
I'm on
He's
fire here, I
sorry.
think, I don't know. Our pricing is at $20 a pound, but we don't turn away nobody. Somebody comes with $5, we will definitely make it happen, we see.
We like to
There's
give
been
people
so- yeah.
who don't usually eat mushrooms, a little sample, just so
Right.
that, because we know that they're gonna come back,
We want, so we give a lot of.
Joy, you have a question?
I do. I was just wondering, I'm sorry if I missed it, but what about health department regulations on this? Is that something that you have all the proper permits for?
We definitely do, yes.
They have to
Yes.
sign off in their application.
Yes, we do have a sign off.
So you mentioned agro, so is the agriculture, are you certified now?
Yes,
Like-
tomorrow Joy,
Tomorrow she's coming
tomorrow
out.
she's coming out to the farm.
But
at
we've been
2.
in contact with
2
her,
p.m.
she just needs to come and see them fruiting, and then we're
Okay.
good.
Right, she's
So that's tomorrow at 2 p.m.
2 p.m., yes.
So don't they already have to be certified for, I know with the food vendors, they already have to have the Board of Health thing, right? So for them, don't they already have to be certified for?
I mean, you're more than welcome to approve them and then we'll ask them to
Okay.
submit it. We
Contingent
have it
on-
for file.
Conditional, okay, good, okay.
I think this is I think people are gonna like this. I mean, I've never seen so many colorful mushrooms.
Yes.
Where else do you
Just
sell
at 5.
these?
We sell them to restaurants. We have a few LA markets that we are trying to kind of, start going towards Riverside, and we're just, LA. This mushroom, I don't want to say it's a new thing, but it's starting to become with the whole health thing and everything. So, LA is starting to be a little, and my brother and his wife, it's starting to be a little, so, with the whole moving to Palm Springs, we're like, hey, let's, over here, there's only one another company that you guys are aware of, at your market, and we just thought, when there's Pepsi, there's Coke, you know what I mean? There's
They have
other-
beautiful
we could-
mushrooms too.
yeah,
They
they're-
do, they great, but our whole appeal is
The color.
we
the
just feel
color
like
and the
we
pop
we
and,
have a
yeah.
different.
You have a different variety from that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, and our display is just a whole different, our display, people stop by our
Take pictures
booths
and
just to
stuff.
take
Yeah.
pictures.
I can believe that.
You'll get people to stop for sure because of the colors, but I think someone previously said you need to give them some information about what to do with it.
Oh,
Absolutely,
yeah,
yeah, because
absolutely.
people are
Yeah,
really
because
into mushrooms, and
people
it's
are
kind of
really into
scary,
mushrooms.
for some people.
And many people in Village Fest are here visiting, so I don't know how transportable they would be.
Yeah.
But that would be something you need to think about as well.
Absolutely.
Are we
Flashcards, we'll have flashcards and
No recipe cards.
right,
they're
recipe
farmers
cards,
market.
They
flashcards.
are, it's gonna be dependent upon space in the
Space.
farmer's market
Oh,
though,
okay,
but yes,
yeah.
they are a farmer's market vendor.
because the people that walk down through the farmer's market are the locals, right?
Right, yeah,
Because,
exactly.
and that's advice, so that's not.
And yeah,
Well, learn how to grow morel mushrooms.
Oh, yeah.
No
No
problem.
Put that on your list.
Yeah.
No problem,
And
absolutely.
lobster mushrooms are
Good.
something that I was always very intrigued with, and I could only get them in New York.
What are they?
Lobster mushrooms.
Lobster.
The
Lobster.
pink ones taste like
Yeah, the-
lobster, is
the-
that what you're talking about?
That might be what they were
Yes, the
showing.
pink
calling
oysters
lobster
do.
mushrooms.
They say
Yeah, do they
ham,
taste it like
lobster.
Some people,
yes.
yeah, some people taste ham, some people taste lobster, which
Lobster,
is
we got that a
crazy,
lot.
but it's totally
That is
different,
okay.
but that might be
Yeah, I
it.
was just wondering if that was what it was.
And next week we can stop by if you guys want and
We'll
give you guys.
all you guys
some
a mix, we would love
mushrooms.
to, for you guys
apologize for
to,
them not
you
being
know,
ready.
give you some.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll see you on this.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Any other board questions?
No.
Are we ready for a motion?
I'll move that we approve the spore solution.
And I'll second that, and I want to clarify that it's conditional on their agriculture permit.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, yeah, that.
All right, let us vote. Antonio,
Yes.
Celia?
yes.
I vote yes. Dan?
Yes.
And Mitchell?
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you
Thank
so much,
you.
guys.
Can't wait to see those
You guys are awesome.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.
Are you selling to Alice B restaurant?
No, we're not.
We should look into it.
Okay.
You know who
Okay.
she is, right?
No, we just moved out
Yeah,
here.
Oh,
we're new in.
Susan Feniger, Borders Grill in LA and in the airport. She's a big
Very
selling
famous
chef.
chef.
Yeah.
Just opened a restaurant here.
Alice.
called
Alice.
B.
Alice B, like
We
Alice
will
B.
look into
Tokler.
it. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
And they
so much,
actually
you're awesome.
do is it semolina or is it grits with
A mushroom.
a variety of mushrooms on it? So, yeah.
We're
I think they
actually,
would
with
jump
this
at
whole
that.
thing, I'm sorry, just last thing, with this whole thing, we came up with, but we wanna, the next thing would be, we wanna open up a restaurant. When you walk in, you're gonna see our mushrooms, like, it's gonna be all glass, you're gonna see
Yeah.
how it's grown.
Very
And the,
cool.
we have
Very
a
good.
whole
That
nother,
was
you
very
know,
good.
yeah, thank you guys, though.
Thank
you.
You guys are awesome, I love
Appreciate you
it.
guys.
Stuff, man. Yeah.
Terrific.
Have a wonderful day, guys.
Onisia, hi, welcome. Did I say your name correctly?
It's Onisa.
Onisia.
Very close.
Almost worried I didn't make the list for some reason.
Help yourself to some coffee and carrots.
Otherwise Jasmine has to take them all.
And then I eat them all.
One churro for Gina, but-
Oh, right. So my name is Onisia. I'm an artist. I grew up in the desert and left for a while. My family's still here. I came back about a year and a half ago. And while I was gone, I developed my art career, but being in a new market, learning Palm Springs again has been really challenging. And so that's why I'm here in front of you today. My goal is to meet people who love art, who collect art, and to hopefully sell that art to them. I do have a few things that I do with my art. This is one of my paintings that I have here. I usually buy my canvases from places like Michael's. I have images that I basically sketch, and then I paint them. I do everything by hand or using my projector. This is a collage, which is a kind of a unusual piece. It's multimedia, but all these things are things that I gathered from my home or bought sequin paper from Michael's. This is like a piece of netting that was around ginger root, I think. But I have a variety of paintings I've shown all over the country. I just wrapped up a art fair about 2 weeks ago. This was at a show in Kansas City about a month ago. So I'm showing in places, just not here in Palm Springs.
Right.
So that's
And
good.
you live with, right?
I do,
Well-
yes, yeah. So my goal is to be local. So this is one of my art pieces on a t-shirt, to kind of just have something affordable that people can, buy
I like that.
impulsively, because not very often do people come by and they drop $3,000 or $4,000. And then I've got these prints here as well. They're limited edition, and then they've got like a certificate of authenticity and the thank you note in the back. My own personal seal on here as well. And this is just another example of work that I have. This is actually the last of its kind. I sold out these guys.
Are you going to continue them, or this is the?
Oh, well, this is-
Yeah,
This particular print that
Yeah.
I'm gonna show you, these are just from forever. They all have, this is my last one. So,
So all your pieces have a limited number.
yes,
Okay.
yes, either they're one of a kind or they come in
Oh,
sets of
wow.
25.
oh, I see.
That's
Yeah,
beautiful.
so this is the last of its kind here. This one I sold, I went to an art show this past weekend in Long Beach and I sold a couple of these guys while I was there. So these are just my works. And my goal is to just kind of break into this market.
Nice.
Well, hard to see if I can.
Oh, I could pass it around if
Yeah,
you'd like to
please.
see, of course.
Are the t-shirts on there?
I don't know, you guys have the
Oh,
application.
I did submit an updated application. I don't know if you guys received it, but it should have been on
ready
there.
folder?
No.
And this is a personal shirt, so it's seen some time on there. It's not brand
Even better.
new.
The artist wore this.
It's my
That
work,
ups
I
the
have
price
to.
at least a few hundred.
Oh, yeah. That has to change.
Oh, yeah. Cool.
Well, beautiful.
I don't think it's terrible, but, yeah.
No,
Is it too much?
no, the title is, we've had some issues in the past with,
Wording and.
It's a family event.
yeah,
Okay.
so
And
calling it, what is it, pussy is,
Pussy's
God.
God.
pussy is God, that wouldn't apply here.
Yeah,
Okay.
and we scrutinize things that might be a little suggestive.
Mhm.
So not that we're offended, but we want to make sure that in a family environment with kids and all that, we're sensitive to that. So,
I don't think the artwork is.
I
the
think your
issue.
artwork is beautiful.
I think it's the title.
the title is-
Title
yeah.
needs to not be on there.
Okay, well, I have other prints. This is just an example of one of many.
And that's the last of that one anyway, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Stains it all.
Like, for instance, we have had to address issues of certain things like soaps and candles in the shapes of chemicals and
Mhm.
things like that. Because there were people coming that were offended by it. So not that, it's not our role, right? It's just, we have to make sure that we can appeal to all the masses. So personally, I'm not offended by that,
I'm
especially
not
because
either.
it's just written on the bottom really small.
Right.
I don't think that that's as visual as some of the other things that we've had problems with, to be honest.
Well, so-
And it is
so
part of
sorry,
her
but-
art that she names it that. That's the one thing that kind of struggling with her
Well,
again.
if- I'm okay with it if everybody else is okay with it. I just think we
Yeah.
have to be consistent and
I would say
Yeah.
to you, your artwork is
What do you feel
beautiful,
on it?
Thank you.
but I would say to you, exercise discretion.
You're a mom, come on, let's hear it. No, seriously, because
I mean, as a parent, it's not something
you
I
wouldn't want. it.
necessarily, no, it's not something I necessarily mind.
Okay, all right.
The
yeah.
other ones that you did deny were very
Whole different thing. though.
explicit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So it's a different,
so if you did things that were explicit, like, this is more like, I don't know, am I right to call it folk art or? Not
Tasteful,
really,
no.
but anyway, but that there's,
Yeah.
but it's not really, it doesn't depict that, it depicts more the,
Attitude and mood.
yeah, the attitude and mood of the entire image, so I'm not worried about that.
I'm
Right.
sure that not everything that she has is, I mean, she's got this
Yeah,
too, which
there's
is.
several
No,
examples.
I know, but I'm
I
saying
believe
that
you
even
get what
if,
we're
that,
saying.
even if it does, and it's that.
And if you exercise discretion, then I think.
Because your art is.
Because your art is
beautiful.
beautiful.
yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Any other questions for Onissa?
No.
When do you plan on starting?
June 27th.
Great.
Good. We love summer vendors coming in.
Yeah.
So, how about a motion?
I make a
please?
motion that we accept
Onicia.
Onicia Harris, art studio into the VillageFest.
I'll second that.
Good, let us vote. Mitchell,
Yes.
Dan,
Yes,
I say yes, Celia.
Yes.
And Antonio, congratulations.
Yes.
Thank you guys.
beautiful stuff.
Yeah,
And
right.
You do
you can
well.
show any of it at this point. There's
Yeah.
nothing here that is offensive. We had a question that because, you know, we've had that discussion, but
Yeah, and that's something that I've
But
had
I-
a conversation about as an artist for a while now.
Yeah.
yeah,
You know, I-
but I think you
Yeah,
heard that we unanimously are fine.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Look forward to seeing you.
See you now on the street.
Yes,
Thank you.
beautiful work by you.
Very good.
Did she get her information?
Give her handout.
Did we look in there and see if she has the t-shirts on? Because if not, we want Jasmine to have that verification. Is it-
Yes, that's it.
Excellent.
Great.
Jasmine, is there anything on sustainability or sidewalk vendors?
Sustainability, we are on track. Some of our vendors have slowly started to transition. We have a deadline of July the 4th for all of our food service vendors. And, we've received questions and, you know, been able to give some guidance, so we know what's on people's minds, and we've had, I think, 2 vendors who have done the transition already, so.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna stay on that and hope that by January or July the 4th, all of our food vendors will have transitioned.
Oh,
Wow.
that's fabulous.
Yeah, we tried to give them enough notification. We've done multiple notifications out to them.
Has there been any pushback?
Not really.
No?
Mm-mm. Most of the vendors were expecting it because it was something we had already discussed with them, and then COVID hit, and then we had some
Yeah, we've
delays.
been telling them for like
Yeah.
3 years, even
Right.
when we
Yeah,
jury them, yeah.
yeah.
Nice.
So, no, we haven't received any pushback, but we're gonna continue to push forward.
Have any of them indicated that they'll definitely make the date, or any of them indicated that the date's in jeopardy for them?
No,
Okay,
no.
Good.
But we have another notification, it's either this week or next week going out, and then just, you know, continue the message along of, if you
when you're
need
gonna hear.
support, here are your avenues for support, and here are some avenues to link up with the type of materials that will be allowed. Slow transition, but we're making it.
Very good. Anything on sidewalk vendors?
No updates on that.
Moving on to new business. When we were all last together, we talked about jurying a health and beauty type vendor. There was a note in the minutes from Dan about we need further discussion on this particular topic, and then there was some feedback that I got from other people to input and discuss this, and so that the board has some clear understanding of how we move forward. I took it upon myself, with the help of Mitchell, if I may acknowledge him, who has experience in this area. Yeah, some ideas for us to think about. And this is meant to be consideration. I think it's important that we come up with something that we all agree with and that isn't necessarily heavy-handed, but yet gives us a consistent guidelines to measure these by. Our guidelines state that all vendors must understand and comply with any and all federal, state, and laws regarding in any manner their goods and services. I mean, that goes along with the food vendors and other things. There's city licenses and those things. That's staff makes sure all of that stuff is in place. You can certainly make homemade products in your kitchen if you want to. The state of California does not regulate that, neither does the FDA. But I think if you read the definition in California of what constitutes a cosmetic, it's really rather broad, and much of what we're doing in the state of California would be considered a cosmetic. The regulations state that the product must be safe for intended use. That's a very broad brushstroke. The one way you do that is the stability test, but that is not a requirement by the state of California. You don't have to do it. However, you must have something that says my product is safe for intended use. You must properly label. This one, I think we get pretty good when we talk to people, and it tells you some of the guidelines of how and what you label. The product cannot be unadulterated or misbranded. This one really applies to if you're taking a product and adding something to it, if you're dyeing it or coloring it or scenting it or doing something like that. We really don't have a lot of that, but again, it's something that the state of California says, if you're doing this, you should be aware of and consider. And lastly, another one that we seem to do a good job at is false or unproven claims about efficacy.
I could see somebody challenging that. I mean, claims from the health, I don't know.
Where they say this hasn't been approved by, looked at by the FDA.
Yeah, so it has to have some body behind it. It can't be like, well, there's a health clinic that I went to in, Mexico, and they advocate this product, and so it's proven.
You're right, and that's a good point, but hold on to that thought. There's some quotations here from different state agencies and regulatory bodies regarding the quality of product and approving of product. The one thing that comes up is something called good manufacturing practices, GMP. That really comes out of the Food and Drug Administration, and they really don't have anything to do with this at all. This is purely the state of California. But it's a set of guidelines that directs people who are in the food and drug manufacturing process of how to make your product such that if you were to face an FDA audit, you would have the data compiled to answer the questions that they would ask. Good manufacturing practices are nowhere mentioned in FDA regulations. They are industry developed standards to give guidelines to manufacturers to say, here's the things that you should think about when you're developing or putting together a product.
And
Go ahead.
well, in
So,
California, well,
does that speak to consistency as well? In other words, I'm mixing this thing on my stove and I pour it into bottle, right? Well, we all cook. Comes a little different sometimes, right? So is that what is that also included in there?
Yes.
No,
How
that's
do you
like
record a journal
measurements and
the
things.
process of product creation?
Okay.
How do you know that you're being consistent? You're
Okay,
documenting.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Mitch.
well, there's also through OSHA, there's a data sheet that, like in a salon.
Material safety data sheet.
Yeah, if I'm selling a product in the salon, I have to have the material data safety sheet that says, here's the testing, here's where it's safe, here's where it's not. Here's how to test if you're gonna have an allergic reaction to it. So there are guidelines through OSHA even for material data safety that are very specific about how products to the consumer can be consumed.
And to your point, there is one thing in the California regulations that is hard and fast, even about homemade products, is there's a list of 21 ingredients that you absolutely cannot use in the state of California
Oh, that'd be good
in
to
any
know.
formulation.
Mhm.
Now, it is incumbent upon the manufacturer, the person making this, to be aware of that, not VillageFest Board.
Yeah.
We're not an enforcement agency.
So it's not our job to look at their ingredients and
Very
make a
good.
list.
Very- So it's up to them. To bring this all down to something that I would like to suggest this group consider and discuss is maybe at the beginning of the signing up process, we ask, are you aware of the state of California regulations? That's a yes or no. We can't police that, but if you are aware of them, can you demonstrate that you're aware of them? And show us that at least you know what you're talking about. Have you done any testing on your product? Yes or no, and lastly, does your product label comply with the state of California? I think these are the things that only we can bring forward to vendors and hold them accountable. And at the same time, have a consistent set of guidelines that we treat everybody the same and not make anyone singled out for being different.
So are you suggesting that we hold
No.
them accountable?
No, I'm just saying this is for our information. This is some of the things, if you're a manufacturer, you might want to consider in putting your products together, but it's incumbent on you to know that. We shouldn't have to educate you or tell you, just like we don't tell the food handlers how to make their food or what to do. This county does that, or the state does that, or the city tells you what the fees you are to pay. all our role is, as I see it, and I need your input and our concurrence, that we ask the right questions. Do you at least demonstrate that you know what you're doing?
Great,
Some
can I
of
get a
the-
10-second rundown of what prompted it?
Please. Oh, we had a vendor.
We have a number of vendors that have made claims of their products, saying that it cures baldness, it cures eczema, and you can't say it cures. You can't say that it promotes hair growth unless it really does, you know what I'm saying? What was that?
We had a vendor at our last meeting who was disapproved. Her product was Miracle Hair Elixir.
Hmm.
You know, and
Elixir.
she made it in her own, and she said, I have testimonies and all that, and I mean, she believed in what she was doing, and her heart was in the right place, but we disapproved her, and I think that was a difficult decision for this board to make. It certainly was for me.
Well, the
Uh,
challenge also comes for staff because they have to address. At the end of the day, when we disapprove, they run to, our team members here. And they say, well, what do I have to do? And we're not giving them good, clear direction. And some vendors, we've made suggestions for how they should change their labels. Others, we've suggested they formulate differently, or they take claims off. And so each person we're giving this advice out to, that really we should just have a standard that says, here's the rules, here's the testing, here.
It should
do
be
your
pass
test.
or fail. It should be
Yes.
pass or fail, and we're
Yes.
not tutoring them,
Right.
exactly.
Correct, right.
So would this be given to them when they make their application?
Well, I think that's part of what
Well,
we
that-
need to
that's-
decide, and
yeah.
I would have to ask Jasmine. If we make a decision about, here are some guidelines that go before people in the health and beauty marketplace, do we need to go before Jeff Ballinger and get the city to weigh in on this? And
And are you comfortable with staff actually arbitrating that, or?
So my question is, logistics, obviously, because that's what Faith and I deal with most. So if we hand this to someone and they say no to one of these items, one of these 3 questions, then what does the board do?
well,
Or do you not accept their application at that point? Can you
Right.
not accept an application? Because that's a slippery slope too, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you have to still come to the
so,
board.
we have
How do you
language
say
that we use if we think something will likely not get approved,
Yeah.
sometimes that happens when we get a lot of strung jewelry that we can tell this is not necessarily gonna get approved. We get, this is their guidance, the rules and regulations, say
Yeah, so you
75%
advise them.
handmade. However, if you still want to apply, the board of directors or the governing body of approval and not approval. So you can go before them, you just risk your application fee. So we've got very standard language for,
Yeah.
ooh, we're not really sure if this will be approved by the board.
Because we've had vendors come for us, and it was exactly that,
Mhm.
Faith said, I'm not authorized
Right.
to refuse them, you are.
We aren't on a staff level unless you say as a board and take a vote. We don't want to see any more of this particular product for the time being, and we're going to put a hold on it. Then we have the ability. Now we are
Yeah.
enforced to tell people we're holding off on any of those because that's board direction. So I'm trying to figure out if. So I'm trying to figure out how to answer your question. If you decide that this is criteria that you can deny someone for, then yes, it needs to go to the city attorney and it needs to go to city council and it needs to be in your rules and regulations.
Yes.
Because that's our deniable body. Now, if this is just a policy that we are going to utilize to try and streamline the process for bath and body health products, then it's a policy that the board can adopt and we utilize it as a tool. It's not necessarily a rule.
And some of these questions, I mean, I think we do need to come up with questions, but like, do you have the documentation? Yes or no? If they say yes. Shouldn't we ask to see it?
I said, would you share it with us? Can you
Yeah,
share
I
it
mean,
with
but it should be, I think it should be part of the process. If they're bringing a product that's going on skin, hair, then they should put that testing or whatever they've done in with their package.
In my thinking, this is not the staff policing this. It's no different than the 75% handmade guideline.
Right.
It's a guideline that the board is looking for. And we would say, you're in this category. Are you aware there are state of California regulations? Yes or no? Do you have a product label that complies with the state of California? If they don't know, they don't know.
Right.
But I think that information, there's a self-certification at least on their application, then they have to come before this board.
Right.
And this board asks those questions and makes a decision. At least I don't want it to be heavy-handed. I want it to be simple for us and
Well, that's what we're asking for,
Yeah.
some kind of clear criteria, so we don't, yes, this person and maybe that person and
Mhm.
no, that person.
Or create liability
Exactly.
by it appearing as favoritism,
Right,
but,
right.
you know, so there's a couple of things that we said earlier that I'm a little uncomfortable with, and one was, you said that the state doesn't regulate it, and I dispute that. The state regulates it, they just don't disallow you to do it in your home, they do regulate it, don't they? Because there are regulations.
Health and beauty.
the
is-
regulations are these here. Safe for intended use, properly labeled, unadulterated, misbranded, or unapproved claims.
And that's just basically like the written law, so if you violate that, then there
If
could be
you, if
problems,
you
but.
do those.
But there's no certificate.
No.
Okay, and then the second thing that we said earlier was about stability tests. This says many are tempted to skip stability tests, but it's a necessary step. You should never overlook, otherwise you risk serious problems. So are we saying that they shouldn't overlook it for their own liability, or are we saying that they should not overlook it because they shouldn't put a product on the street until it's been stability tested? Because if the answer is yes to the second question there, then I would say then we need them to sort of give some kind of proof that they did stability tests or some kind of.
And most of
results.
those are anecdotal, aren't they? I mean.
Yes,
people are-
that's the problem.
they
This is all
say,
anecdotal.
Yeah, my friends swear by it, you know,
It's no more, what's the word I'm looking for? No more regulated than the health department saying you have to keep food at a certain temperature.
Well, yeah, but they come around and check
Yeah,
that.
but-
They can come around and check that. Stability testing, you can do it if you want, if you don't do it, then there is a risk, and there is a risk to
But-
potentially. to-
But is that true? If they don't want to do it, they don't have to. That's what I'm disputing, Greg, is that you indicated that, and I don't think that that's what this says.
This is guidance, Dan. These are people who are in the industry, these are quotes from them. You see, they're all
Yeah,
quotes.
To ensure quality and safety, stability tests must be performed to determine the preservative is working and to determine the real product shelf life.
What's the
So-
question, Dan?
Huh?
What's the question?
So what I'm questioning is that I'm getting the indication from Greg that it's optional for them to do a stability test. But from these regulations right here, the first one says, ensure quality and safety tests must be performed. Stability test, it's right there.
It is optional to do it, but if you were challenged on it and you didn't have the data, you could have a problem.
Couldn't we just
That's
request,
not ours to police.
couldn't we just request
But must be,
a
regulations.
material safety data sheet on the product they want to sell?
No, I think that's going a little bit too far. I think the label is
They're
intended to
not
do that
corporate.
with the ingredients and the percentage. Joy, I know you had your hand up. Go ahead.
Sorry, I just wanted to confirm, so do you still have the vendors in this sort of a product give you an ingredients list? To make, and the reason that started was because some people were just buying it in bulk and re-pouring it into their own bottles. And that was something that we really wanted to try to avoid. So that's why some of these things happened.
Yes,
Because of that.
Yeah, it's what we do require,
Yeah.
the labeling and the
Yeah.
ingredients on
Absolutely.
all the items.
but not percentages
No.
and not in descending order.
No.
But you have to provide the ingredients, because if someone's putting it on themselves, even if it's topical,
Mhm.
they could be allergic to a certain ingredients. That's why you have to have the ingredients.
Right.
And remember, I said there's 21 that are absolutely forbidden in the state of California. If you don't know that and that ingredient is in
In
there, then
Or what if none of those 21 are in, but you don't label the ingredients, and one of the things in there is some kind of flower root, and I happen to be
very good point.
allergic to that,
Very good point.
and I've
That's
been
right.
misled
That's right.
that, that it's not in there, right? So that makes me a little uncomfortable, and I have to say that we're really going through a lot here for a very small category, very small percentage of something that is not even necessary to be represented at Village Fest, because Village Fest is an artisan craft fair, and Magic Hair Elixir is not artistic, right? So we're talking about cosmetics here, and it's not a cosmetic fair, so I'm all over the place on this, in that I almost want to say, let's just eliminate this, right?
Let's narrow it down.
Or let's
The purpose
limit how
of,
many more we can accept. in,
Yeah, or the
because-
that,
the
yes.
purpose was to give us a sense of guidelines to
Yeah.
follow when these vendors do come
I
up.
think
That's all.
I think it does what you intended it to.
Yeah,
do.
absolutely.
That's all.
I think this is good.
Well, this
So-
is an education for all of us.
Yeah.
Yes.
How do we proceed? Mitchell, you've done this, you've
I
had a
mean,
business.
I honestly think that we have a risk by approving people that we don't know what,
I agree.
we
100%.
we don't know. So I honestly think we need to ask city lawyer, the city, legal department to give us guidance on all of the complexities of doing this. I mean, if somebody's on the street doing samples, for instance, they're supposed to use disposable sticks. There's a very specific process for sanitation reasons, health reasons, safety reasons.
And with food products, that's not an issue because they have to be approved by the Board of Health and
Right.
that's everything, right?
Right.
But with this, there is nothing and like that, and for that reason, I have to say that I'm uncomfortable to even keep this category open going forward.
I would support that.
I would
I'm not a big-
too.
I'm not a big fan of,
I don't think anybody goes
Health
there
and
for
beauty.
cosmetics or to
Uh-uh.
fix their hair.
Especially having it down now in front of
Exactly.
us on paper that
Right.
there is requirements that people we know are not following.
well, what does that include though? Does that include things you rub on your body? Does
Yeah,
it include
lotions.
soap? Does it
Lotions,
include
potions,
candles? Does it include?
Candles.
Well, that's a good point.
Seaweed,
because the soap
the
is-
seaweed vendor, CMOS.
Yeah, so.
That-
we
that's
have-
So that's not a
Adjusted.
cosmetable. That's
Still in my
adjusting,
freezer, I
yeah.
never.
I know.
The
afraid to do
seaweed,
it.
oh,
Yeah,
Which was the
that's
Well, that
that's
may be,
regulated by
Yeah.
county, yeah.
But are candles different than?
candles are different.
Candles are different.
So it would
yeah.
just be something that you use on your body.
Soap
Or-
is excluded unless there's a fragrance in it or a
Right.
coloring, otherwise it's excluded.
Right, okay.
But I think most of ours probably
So it's
has
the lotions and the
fragrance,
oils and.
lotions and oils. and-
Yeah.
yeah.
Elixirs, things like
I
that.
think,
I think that's good.
There is a gray line, though, you're right, there's very gray.
I think excluding those vendors, I don't know, I have a hard time with it. I think,
But I agree with what Dan said. This is not a cosmetic. We're here for arts and we want to.
Yeah.
We're getting more and more people who are coming to us with lotions and potions and.
And we enjoy the variety because people coming like to see variety, but sort of as like, a little ditty on the side type thing, not that all of a sudden we keep on improving these, and all of a sudden we're this,
Cosmetics,
personal
yeah.
cosmetic fair, exactly, and I just I don't see that as necessary, and I do see it as a liability risk.
Yeah.
So
I
I don't
agree.
even know that I want to go down the road of engaging with the city attorney
I
and
agree.
arbitrating with, because what we're trying to do is we're trying to solve a problem that we don't have to have.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
and I think we can solve it by if we ask these questions.
Or eliminate.
If the answers are
Or
no,
eliminate.
then
I think
sorry.
eliminate the
You
category.
self-eliminate.
Can we, do we have to put that as an?
Can we put a
agenda item?
cap on that category for now?
We can halt.
Or just
Yeah.
stop taking applications and just.
yes,
let
you
them fade
can
out.
put a cap on bath and body products. Yes, absolutely. Sorry, I had another thought before that, but yes, you
I'm
can.
sorry.
There's actually more of those than what we think.
They come and they go.
Well, yes, bath and body. I mean, those are, we have some really long time vendors who
Yes.
fit into the bath and
The
body.
CBD
product
people. fall into this.
Because it is a popular item. It does get purchased quite a bit at the
And
festival.
the Zoltan, soap people.
Pure,
So-
pure guy.
Yeah,
I love this.
Oh, yeah, we've got
Yeah.
goat soap, we've got all
Yeah.
kinds of vendors.
But
who've
we're
been
not
with
talking
us.
about soap and candles. We're
Yeah.
talking about bath and body.
It's bad soap, that's the problem, yeah,
Lotions.
yeah.
Lotion, right.
And elixirs.
Yeah, and most of those fit together. So soap and lotion, a lot of the vendors
Soap
sell
falls
the
in the
same product.
definition.
Should we be categorizing them as cosmetic and keep the bath and body otherwise?
But
Because
that's not-
cosmetics is not really bath and body. Bath and body is lotion you put on yourself, taking a bath, powder, stuff like that, right? But cosmetics are a whole different thing.
I think that's
Anything
a
that is
fine line.
applied to the
Yeah,
human
okay.
body or
It's
any
a very
part of
fine
their
line.
cleansing, beautifying, promoting attractiveness.
Okay, never mind, yeah. All right, I'll retract that.
I think maybe we just put a cap on it.
Yeah.
We just stop
Yeah,
bringing them in until,
For now.
for now.
I
That would
agree.
be my
I
suggestion.
think so.
I would agree with you, yeah.
Mhm.
And there you go.
Mm.
Okay, so we can put it on the next, it has to be under legislative, so
Yeah, and so.
we can add it to that, and you can have further discussion and take a vote at your next meeting.
Sounds great.
Thank
Thank you guys for doing this.
Now, what if some vendors apply between now and next meeting and they're coming with,
We'll just hold
Let
off.
me
We
think,
have been holding off
Okay,
since our
good,
last
good.
meeting.
Okay,
Chair Roberts asked us not to bring any more
Excellent.
forward, so. we have-
perfect.
Great.
Thank you, good discussion.
And thank you for doing that again, guys.
So thanks to Mitchell, he provided a lot of information from his.
Yeah, thank you guys for doing that.
Thanks to the
Really.
feedback
A
from
lot of work.
everybody who reached out to me. And I will, well, we'll get this out to in the minutes. To everyone else. Reports and requests, anything public, I guess move on to board comments.
No, we have that correspondence that you put under
Well,
what?
that's under.
I think
Oh,
that's.
staff report, sorry.
Staff report, yeah.
That's it, yeah.
Joy, you're on. Anything from Main Street?
I just wanted to congratulate everybody for the outstanding Abby Carter celebration
Yeah.
that went on. How exciting was that? Amazing. And I did want to point out that the 4th of July is on a Thursday this year, and so is Halloween. So those could be some really fun things to be working on. And Jasmine knows that there is a restaurant on the South Blocks that is questioning food booths in that area. So with Jasmine's permission, I'm going to poll all the restaurants on that block and see if we could come to a majority opinion there, because some have told me that they're quite happy with it. So we just need to get to the bottom of it. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Joy.
Joy, when you say food vendors in that vein, are we also talking about things like Chopin, like the French bakery that sells bread? Or are you talking about people that are serving food that you stand there and eat?
I don't want to discuss this anymore on this particular recorded meeting, and I will discuss it with you offline if you would like.
And I'll tell you why I asked that. So just a point of reference, there is also a kind of farmer's market vendor that's along the street that's like nuts and all that kind of stuff too. So that's why. Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah, I think, there was a lot of commenting regarding the fact that the fair didn't go up to that area. And so, all the efforts were made to put something up there. And apparently now that is also not making everybody happy. So we'll just work on that, but I wanted to make you aware of it.
Thank you, Joy.
Thanks.
I did have one comment. There was a communication that came out from the city, June 17th is were you gonna talk about that, Joseph?
I wasn't, but I'm glad you brought it up.
Is a joint meeting with city council and all the boards and commissions. It's at the.
Oh, yeah,
Civic Center. It's
dinner.
June 17th. It's a dinner and there's usually a presentation of all the boards.
Didn't we
and
have it last
commissions.
year too?
Yes. Mhm.
I think I spoke, right?
You
Nice.
did.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so I guess you presenting it. Are
Yeah,
you
so,
prepared to do that? It's a pretty outfit.
I'll try.
Okay.
I want that
Sparkling.
star that he
Something
has.
sparkling.
Exactly.
So I hope did you get an communication?
I did.
And I'm wondering who didn't, because I was like,
Yeah, I
you
got
look
it.
really like, what's going
Evelyn
on?
Beltran sent it.
I
You guys
will
didn't get it?
I
I
will
can
send
forward
it
to
to
you right now.
you,
Yeah, I RSVP'd it. Yeah.
Okay.
but I would,
I didn't
if you
RSVP
can
yet.
come,
Yes,
it's a free dinner and it's nice to hear what's going on in the
Who was it
city.
from?
For sure.
It's
Evelyn.
Evelyn Beltran.
Mhm. From the city clerk's office. It was probably last week or the week
Last-
before.
yeah.
Last week.
It was last week.
You have to make a reservation, so
Yeah.
I'm sending it to him.
Antonio, Celia.
Thank you.
I got it already.
Oh, I thought you didn't get it. Okay.
No, I got it, but I'm not.
Anyone
I
else
guess-
not get it?
Cheryl, you think Cheryl got it? Maybe I'll.
It doesn't matter because she's in New York.
She's
Yeah,
gone.
she'll be back. Yeah.
David, I'll check with David.
I'd also like to
Oh,
invite
okay.
you all next weekend to come
Oh,
to
yeah.
the Big Gay Barbecue,
Ah,
for Palm Springs
Oh, is
Pride.
that
It's our
next
Big
week?
Gay Barbecue, June 7th and 8th. We have like 6 barbecue vendors and, games and DJ Kelly and Mod Girl and
Where
DJ
is it?
Galaxy, right on Arenas. We close it down for Friday and Saturday from 5 to 10 PM. So hope you all can make it.
Next one?
Any,
June 7th and 8th.
thank you.
Julie actually did one of the bars here last year.
Yes.
That's right, I remember.
Any subcommittee reports?
I have marketing and social media. I don't know if you guys have had an update recently,
Great.
but we are in summer.
Yeah.
So we have seen a 58% drop in accounts reached and 75% drop in accounts engaged in the last 30 days.
Oh,
Which I have a feeling if you look back on the records, it'll be normal for around this time of the year. Memorial Day is usually the last hurrah for all of Palm Springs. and
Yeah.
We take a pretty big dip
Now we're all
across
just
the
like
board, hotels and.
holding on.
Exactly.
But that just happened. So if it's for the past
Yeah.
month, it means that the people weren't preparing to come here for that. Because I have to tell you, I went out on Sunday night. The town was hopping.
Mhm.
Memorial
So
weekend.
Memorial weekend, yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause that's the
I went
last
to
hurrah.
Reforma. I've never seen Reforma crowded before.
Yeah.
It was packed.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And we'll keep engaging, we'll keep
Keep
posting. Yeah,
watching
we'll
it,
keep
yeah,
posting, we'll keep
yeah.
engaging,
It
but
was one of
it's,
those
I have a
people
feeling
here
if you
too.
look at the tape. it's
Joy
the
does a
same
great
thing.
job of posting things on,
Mhm.
on Facebook, and I try to do it every now and then. Maybe I'll step it up a
Yeah.
little bit and see.
Wow. Okay.
All right, last, but certainly not least, staff reports.
Just wanted to review a request we received from a downtown merchant. You all received the
Did
letter.
everyone see the letter?
It's from El
Yeah.
Patron.
It
They
was-
would like to display some cars during Village Fest on that corner. We have talked to both police and fire. They're okay with us closing that corner as like a hard closure. For the time, it actually happened by accident. They were working with the police department and the police department gave them the okay, but the police department never circled back to staff. So we were surprised one Thursday when we were setting up downtown that all these cars came in, but the police department, let us know.
So I
that it
still
was
don't
fine.
know what this is. I mean, I read the letter.
Like classic cars?
In other words, they're putting classic antique cars and they're displaying them
Mhm.
around the restaurant.
Yeah, just on the street, just right outside of the restaurant. Their
So when we
patio.
say on the street, that's on Talkwitz.
On Talkwitz, right outside their patio.
Isn't that one of the emergency egresses though? for-
I've reviewed it with police and fire and they're okay. They'll transition to the other side of Talkwitz and exit off of Arenas.
And what's the significance of this? I mean, El Patron's already taking up
Yeah.
a lot of parking spaces there with their parklets.
Yep.
They have more seats in their parklets than they have in the restaurant.
Yes, they do.
So I'm confused what's the significance of this? It's not a car show. They're not McCormick's. So what? I mean, anyone can start doing this.
Well,
What-
I
what
think
are you
that's
doing?
such a dangerous precedent. So like if somebody can
That's my
bring in
point.
cars here,
Exactly, yeah.
then why don't we bring in golf carts at another, or well.
Joy, you want to weigh in?
There has been.
Yeah, Joy, any
Well,
opinion?
I did wonder about that. I actually asked Jasmine about it because I saw it advertised on Instagram. I am wondering, one thing in particular is, are they charging people to display their cars there during Village Fest? And I
Whose
think
cars
that-
are they?
Yeah, I don't
No,
know.
Joy,
So I think that that's something that, we should know more about, whether just friends are bringing cars and with that hard closure there, just to make sure that that's absolutely safe, on that block right there. It's an interesting idea, but I want to know if people are paying him to show those cars when he's not paying the city to show those cars.
That was gonna be my question. So I believe he has to pay the city for the spaces parklets on, correct?
Yes.
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 Let's
Park-
do this.
So now the rest of the street, is the city charging a fee to them?
Well, if
Rental to use the street?
if you are a vendor and you're not paying the fees to Village Fest, you cannot be on the street. You can
Right.
be on the sidewalk, but you cannot be on the street.
Right, so this is intended just to support a
Advertising.
downtown merchant, and you could easily say it can become a slippery slope. But we also do whatever we can to support merchants.
Yeah.
So if there is something that a merchant requests of us and we have the capability of supporting it, we have in the past. It's not we haven't said you need to pay us money or anything of
If
that
it's reasonable
nature.
and appropriate.
Right.
I'm against, I just think.
I'm against it. I think it's inappropriate.
It's a value add to the people going to Village Fest to begin with. I mean, they're not gaining, if they're not charging people for the cars to be parked there, there's nothing being taken away from the vendors. If anything, it's adding more to the experience of the evening, just like the bus that's right in front, except in this case, They're just giving us this extra, not giving us directly, but allowing us to take benefit of the support.
This
If
is
we-
fair
if
to
as a
the-
board-
it's fair to the other
What's to
restaurants.
prevent other restaurants from
Right.
saying, I wanna have a vintage cars in front of my.
It seems to me like it's a
Austin
promotion to
Suelos,
bring
you
business,
know?
it's a promotional.
It is for them.
It's
It's
for
not
them,
part of
it's not,
Village
it's not, it's just like cosmetics, it's not, the cars aren't part of Village Fest.
Or they are,
Oh, they
yes,
are,
if they're,
yeah,
if they're
it's
parked
adding
as,
value
yeah,
to
it's
the event.
definitely part of
It's-
Village Fest.
But it's adding value to El Patron. It's not adding.
Right.
value.
I
But
disagree.
Jerry,
I
yeah,
think it's
but
adding
just-
value. It's an experience at Village Fest, which we tend to lack.
And it's just
We
like. we're
tend to lack
allowing-
people being able to be engaged and stuff. So I absolutely
It's the same thing as
believe it
allowing a
is an
merchant,
experience.
a downtown merchant to just have a booth in front of their restaurant. So it's adding value to the business.
But this is a restaurant, it's not a downtown merchant. I mean, they are a merchant, but
They are
they're not,
merchants.
it's not
If-
like
if-
they're on the
If
street.
Patron decided that they wanted to have a booth on Village Fest, we would allow them to have a booth. on Village Fest.
But they would
Right,
pay
they would
for it,
pay
so
for it.
I was gonna raise that. Do we
So
have
let's
the
have
option?
them pay
Do we have the
for-
option to exercise a fee here?
I mean, we could, I think they would fit maybe into,
Promotional,
I don't think so. I
Mm.
was thinking maybe entertainment.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I believe it does add value to the event.
But
We can-
what
we
happens
can
when
request
Lulu's
it.
decides they
I
wanna?
was gonna say,
Then we
or
would
Los
consider it.
Consuelos.
We absolutely would
Then you
consider
could
it.
start
but
blocking the
there's a
street off. with-
mechanism here that we have, and that's an application process and the jury process. We
But
can
this
ask them,
is not
we
an
can ask them to come before the board and plead their case. And
But we
we as a
can't
board,
have
and
one-
we as a
we
board can
can't-
decide that if we wanna allow them, and we can allow any vendor downtown.
But we can't
to
say
rent a
yes to
booth.
one and then no to another.
We
So
can
what?
absolutely can
no,
if
we
we have
can't.
application.
That's
process.
discrimination.
I want to
No,
support
we
what
cannot.
Antonio's saying. The thing that bothered me about, the most about this is that
They sent a letter to
they
you.
went to the police department, who has
Yeah.
no oversight over Village Fest whatsoever. Rather than come here to you, they certainly know you and apparently Faith,
Yeah,
you know, at minimum, they should be here to jury this.
It should be an application for street use that has a fee attached to it, in my opinion.
Agreed.
They can come and apply and jury.
But I don't think, I think to your point, I hear what you're saying. But I think if we can't, if Los Consuelos or Lulu's wanted to have something in front of their restaurant also, we can't say, well, then we're gonna start filling up with car shows and whatever else.
But that's an
restaurant.
assumption, and that's if we let it happen. We can
It's
put it-
very
we can put
swap
it- we
meet,
can put
and we
it-
don't want it to be a swap.
I
we can
disagree.
put-
I
We
disagree.
can
Classic cars
allow-
are not swap meet at
Definitely
all.
not. If you wanna talk about Swami, maybe
Attraction
15
is
years
like,
ago when we were allowing a
if you're gonna
Mustang
put,
with
you know,
lit up lights.
clowns,
We
and
used to
stuff.
allow, we
We
used
should have
to
a car
allow
show
Keith
event,
McCormick
not
the
at
weekend, the
Village Fest.
Thursday before his
Yeah.
event, and he would
Yeah.
bring out 4 or 5 cars and display them on the street as
And we
promotion
didn't
for
charge
his
them.
event.
Did
No,
he pay for that?
no,
No.
no, it's our way of supporting events
Businesses
and
and-
businesses.
I think it adds to the Village Fest experience. It's fun. People would enjoy it. My problem
process.
is
I have a precedent.
this is advertisement for him.
Absolutely.
This is not adding to the spirit of Village Fest. It's a personal thing. To
Absolutely.
me,
That's
to me.
what I
Okay,
feel.
that's-
That's how I
And
feel
it's
too.
more
Yeah, that's fine.
free use of the
That's how I
street.
feel
So like I said, it's.
But
it's like-
I'm open to consider it.
It's just like any downtown merchant who would want a booth just to promote their business as well. If not even Thai Smile,
Lulu's.
if Lulu said, hey, we wanna have a booth and we wanna sell hot dogs, Lulu's hot dogs.
Or they
right-
wanna set
right
up a
in
stage
front-
with
right
a
in-
drag queen. How about that? Same thing,
Yeah,
right?
they would have to
probably
come here
allow
and be
it.
juried and we would have to discuss it and we would probably allow
But
it.
what
Why-
does
why-
classic cars have to do with El Patron? Where's the connection?
Yeah.
What does hot dogs have to do with Lulu's? If they decided they wanna start a booth
But
and they
they're
wanted,
food.
I understand what I'm saying, if they wanna start a booth and have a drag queen to promote.
But they're gonna buy that,
Lulu's,
booth. They're gonna pay for that street space.
Yeah, but now we're
not
going
just
in,
gonna
but now we're
give it
going
to
in
them.
circles. We allow them to come and be juried and then we make that.
Sure, if he wants to pay a fee and take the
And we
booth
can make that
space.
requirement because during Village Fest, that street is
And how is that
ours.
under the category of arts and an art festival? If you bring in a car that was not made by anybody and it's just parked there, we're not an exhibition, we are a show. We are a sales show. We are there to sell product. And these are just for exhibition. So I think it's
Well,
two separate
let's-
categories.
Let's expand it out to giving away cupcakes, to the Halloween costumes, to the Fourth Be With You. All the fun things that happen down there that bring people down, that
Modernism
may
is
not
trailer.
necessarily be tied to a booth.
Modernism. is-
However, having said that, all of those things support the Village Fest experience. I don't know that this is supporting the Village
It
Fest
also,
experience.
this is a continuing every week.
Yes.
And giving cupcakes out, Halloween costumes happens once a year.
Their events, yeah.
So this is something that's gonna be part of Village Fest ongoing.
It's asking.
Yeah, I would say that if you wanted to do it like one time, I would be like, yes, it's the one time, but
Absolutely.
to make it a permanent fixture, I'm very uncomfortable with
Me
this.
too.
Yeah, me
Okay,
too.
so here's what we'll do. We'll have them
Parklet on. Thursdays.
put an application through Village Fest, and then we'll have them come before you to present.
Let's talk
and we
about
can have that
logistics of that.
conversation.
So if they do, hey, can categorize.
That's why they're not before you, because they
I
don't
know.
actually fit into a category. They
Exactly.
fit more into a special event or an experience at Village Fest. So no, they don't. Yeah, there's not a fee that we can charge them because they don't particularly fit into categories.
But if they wanna come. every
Just
week,
like
they're
when
not a
Keith
special
McCormick.
event. If
Right,
they
they
wanna
don't want
come
a special
every week,
event every single week. That's just,
Yeah.
they're
That's
just taking up.
Right, but we
Exactly.
have the ability.
Just a special day of the week.
Ability to set these precedents. You know, we're complaining about it, but we don't understand, we have the precedent to set a once a month, twice a month, the days that we decide that we can do it.
For sure.
In the spirit of all of Palm Springs, not just the one
Yeah.
night of the week that we are trying to promote and support, like it's as a whole.
Well, the entertainment category, right? They're once a month at best, right? Each vendor, is that what it is?
Twice. We try and get everybody in twice,
Twice a month,
you know,
okay.
rotating.
But we have too many of them, so we don't, we only have 4 spots,
Mm-hmm.
right? We're dedicating a spot for this, and that will be the only spot, because we really can't be spreading this out. So can we make it an application for a rented space? I know that's where I was going originally. Possibly not, unless we have the facility to be able to expand that offer across the board, right? Like you said, what if Lulu's wants to, so there is that. If they wanted to apply as an entertainment vendor, and then when you want to show it, you can, I don't know how that's entertainment, because they're not doing anything. There's people who drive the car and park it there.
Mhm.
So that's not really entertainment, so I'm not sure where to fit this. So if we say, let's have them put an application and come before us for what? To just say, mother, may I, and, please, and then we go, okay, you can do it, and now we set the precedent for anyone else to come forward.
I'm gonna vote no, no matter what.
I am too.
I'm
with you.
adamant about it. I think that it shows favoritism. I don't think it's in the spirit of Village Fest. It's a car show. And
Yeah.
it's not,
I just think it's irrelevant. I really think it's irrelevant on a weekly basis. If it was a one-time event because they were having something to do with the vintage car show coming up, absolutely, that's the coolest thing. But
I mean, a special event, do we also approve special events for the space, for the street?
No,
They
no, that just goes through staff. Mhm.
yeah, Steph disagrees.
Can we vote on this, Jasmine? I mean, is
No.
this- yeah, we
No,
can't.
No, it has to be under legislative for you to
Yeah.
take a vote. Mhm.
And should we be voting, or should you just be taking under advisement our feeling here and then making a decision? There was that too.
Well, anything that's long-term, the board does need to vote on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, something that we do every once in a while to add to the event, that staff can
Like
do
the
that.
Halloween party will
But
probably
yeah,
go this
something
year.
that's consistent needs to go to the board
How many times have they actually done this already?
once.
Okay. yes.
and I would not be opposed to them doing it on a
Once a
not an
month.
irregular basis,
But
like
a
once.
valid occasion.
As a, once a month, maybe once every 2 months, but to be a permanent fixture, I think it destroys the spirit of Village Fest.
Okay,
It
well, I'll bring it,
becomes
I'll put it
something
on
else.
your next agenda, and you guys can take a vote.
All right,
Good discussion.
Well, that was a lot of.
Yeah.
we don't get
Anything,
there very often.
anything else before we,
Anybody really have an opinion on that?
before we adjourn? How about a motion to adjourn?
I move we adjourn.
Second.
Okay.
Everybody in favor? Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you, Jasmine.
Good meeting.
Bye, Joy.
Bye, Joy.
Bye, you guys. See you later.
I'm gonna call you tomorrow, Joy. I didn't understand some of the things you were talking about.
I didn't either.
Okay, you could call me anytime.
Thank you.